Good morning. Good
Hello,
morning.
everybody.
Good morning. Good Monday morning, Patriots.
Yes, it is
Is
March
it?
3rd. Lots going to happen today.
Can't believe it's March already. We've had Trump in office for that long.
He's going to
That
do
whole February, some of January. Oh, it's
he's
been
going to do a speech tomorrow.
wonderful.
He's supposed to do some kind of speech tomorrow and tell us what's going on. He's going to really lay it down. He's going to lay down the
Maybe,
truth. Yep.
yeah, maybe they're gonna go into Fort Knox too. Um, Give me 1 second. Oh, wait, didn't you have a joke this morning?
Oh, I don't know. Do I have jokes?
Yeah, you
I don't
had
know.
one. I think it was
Huh.
actually a political joke.
Shit.
You should have sent it to me.
Oh, my head. My head hurts. You know what, man?
Stop punching yourself.
You know what? 2 years ago, a friend of mine ran for Congress. Do you know what he does now? Nothing. He got elected.
Oh! That's any government job at this
Yeah.
point. Could get
Well,
in
there was a guy
jail.
here, a robber. He walked up to some well-dressed man, pointing his gun, yelling, "Give me all your money." And the man says, "Don't you know who I am? I'm a U.S. congressman." And the guy goes, "Well, in that case, give me all of my money."
Right? I was thinking that too. Oh man. Oh, that's clever. There was one going around that Congress meant like a bunch of monkeys together. Yeah, well, it's close.
Right?
Very close. All right, Joe. I'm ready on this end. I put that evil looking one up there.
Oh, what was binging?
This is
Something's
evil.
banging.
The evil Biden.
Hmm.
Not that we have to deal with Biden anymore, but that's kind of strange that he's just like totally out.
Biden is gone.
Ah, okay. No, I'll take
He
you
was
back.
never there in the first place. I think we all knew that.
It was never there in the first place. Very well said. Very well said.
He wasn't.
Okay. Where is
Nobody can say that he was. The
little
man was
Holy?
completely gone. But I
Uh,
think I think everybody tried to tell him that, you know.
well, when you're an actor and you're supposed to act like you have dementia, it doesn't matter who tells you what.
Correct. Ah,
It's so hard because you really still go back. You can't say things my way yet.
no.
You don't even try to. You still argue points that are so fucking irrelevant to our life right now. And it hurts because I'm like, you're still the average Joe to me. And I'm with you every day. Every day.
So do you think Europe is going to panic over what happened with Zelensky? I do. Oh, I do. Because he's going to start talking today about Indian military support and aid to Ukraine. And so that's going to scare the rest of the European agent. He might do it to them too. Well, we're not playing around with him anymore. And I think he probably should. Just stop it and show them, hey, we're not playing with you. Stop this fucking stupid war you got going on. And then maybe we'll start helping you some more. But until you start wanting to do talks, no. Screw those people, man. I'm tired of giving our money to everybody else in the world. They started it. Look at India. That India's it's the USAID cuts are already hitting them. I told you this morning. I just read. It was just a. I didn't really read the article, but it was. I read the the title, and it said that the cuts already hit a transgender clinic in India The hell are we doing funding a transgender clinic in India?
We knew that. I probably said that like a while
You know,
back. We
our
do things in
medical is
Pakistan and
waning.
India and
Yeah, our medical's sucking lately, and look at what
Afghanistan
we're doing.
have our weapons. Like it's so bizarre that they
It
have more
is.
stuff than we do in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Just so weird.
All I can say is begoggles. Begok,
Yes,
begok, begoggles. Just don't get it.
right.
It's all
I don't
begoggling.
get it either.
I
Oh
used
man.
that scary Biden one. Biden is going to be relevant because I'm using him. I'm telling you, he's going to come back for something. Something happening here. I wonder who's singing that song, and I wonder if like people like the Pelosi's and the Clintons and the Waters and the Swalwells and all these idiots on the left, if they wake up singing that song, Joe. The really good song by Dennis Leary
Yeah.
called
Oh yeah,
I
that
Am an
one. Yeah,
Asshole, I'm an
I know that.
asshole, yo, yo.
I know that's a great song. I love that song. I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole.
Please tell me, Dennis, because he's conservative. If you watch his shows, they're a little dolled up, sexy, but they're
Yeah,
still very sensitive and intriguing and definitely patriotic.
yeah,
Definitely. He's definitely on
yeah,
the right side.
yeah.
It's always good to be on the right side of life. No, something like
Do
that.
do 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 do
Right?
do. Yep, remember that song? Yeah,
Always the right side. I hear Monty Python singing it, but
that is Monty Python.
you think?
Yeah, 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 yeah. From way
Don't
back
talk to
when,
me
back
about the
in the
Python,
70s,
please.
back in the
Please.
70s. God dog.
You can't. Most British shows I grew up with. And if you've never seen Faulty Towers, it's not
Yeah.
many seasons, but it's fantastic. It really truly is how British life used to be back then.
Well, well, we're gonna see
Always
how
have
they
friends for
react. I
Britain.
mean, look at what the Norwegians did. They
What did the
refused to
Norwegians
fuel
do?
one of our battleships, man. They're refusing us fuel. They are now refusing us fuel.
Norway is refusing us fuel
Yes.
for what?
After
What fuel for what?
after they after this thing with Ukraine, because
Right.
they obviously side with Ukraine. So, hey, you don't need our help? Fine. We don't want to give you guys any more money anymore, and you spend it frivolously. So no, that's how it's gonna be. Hey, we'll
Fuel for
cut you
what?
off. You
Just
guys
for
need us more than
America?
we
Like fuel coming back to America?
I don't know. They had fuel. We needed fuel, and they refused to fuel our warships in
Warships. That's what I was.
when we docked in their ports, because we have ports in Norway. Hey,
That's interesting. Um,
I mean, it's like they want us to leave, and they forget that when they were by themselves, they created and started two of the worst wars in the world, World War I and World War II, without us. And both times, America had to go and save them. We've been saving the world forever. It's time to fuck you guys if that's how you want it.
Joe, for the last time, please think of it this way.
It was soldiers that
There's
finished the war.
the risk board is on the floor.
Right.
200, 300 top men are playing a game of risk.
True.
There's money like Monopoly
True.
flying around or
True.
IOUs flying around on this table.
True.
Wars were created for these percentile of men playing a game
And they're using people's lives. And
because
that's what
you're
we found out.
Satanists. They're
Right.
inbred, evil, power-loving,
Right.
pedophile,
Hmm.
don't care about nobody's life, not even a child. Hence
Right.
why abortion has been a problem for 300 years.
Right.
Going on there, at least. I mean, seriously, folks, it's time to really progress. The liberals don't understand progression because it's evil. Their progression is evil. It's not just sinful. If you want to believe, if you want to drag God into it, I prefer this to be a humanities problem and for humanity to have the answer, although prayers are always welcomed in every day, every which and every way. Yeah, my stepson's going on a job interview. It's
He's
UPS.
gonna
I hope
get
he
it for
gets it.
sure, man.
Yeah, I hope he gets it.
He
See,
will.
the cops pulled him over and they thought he was fucked up. They really did. They thought he had something. But his mother she's mostly deaf and he doesn't speak very well because they separated when he was very young, John and his ex-wife. It's not something I like to talk about. Let's never mention it again, but he does. And it's very funny that I happen to have taken sign language. I always thought of sign language as being something I needed to know. Um, this was a good one for New Yorkers will remember this. When we were growing up in the 80s, 90s, the panhandlers would come around saying they were deaf.
Mhm.
I'm sure one or two of them were, but they had these cards made like postcard size, and it would have the sign language of simple things like hello and the alphabet, right? And you would
Mhm.
give them change or whatever for the card, and it would keep the kid busy on the subway, including myself. So I always I always liked sign language. Isn't it strange how sometimes you're introduced to things? I mean, I must have been 8 or 9 when I was first given that card, maybe even younger. It's
Oh,
but the kids these days, they don't have anything like that. That's why the vocational schools that Trump wants to open is brilliant. Then they have oh, look, I can actually do this. Everything is all separated. It's all separated now. It shouldn't be. Why should each school have different
they should.
relevances? Each school have different amounts of money to pay for.
Yeah.
Doctors have it the worst. I have to say, doctors, I don't care about lawyers too much, but doctors, I really don't. But doctors, they have it the worst because they, some of them mean well,
Well,
and then they get messed up, and then they have to pay off bills, and they're renting out a place, you know. s- These days, especially the last 20 years, last 2 decades, I'm talking, within that time period, it just got worse and worse. Of course, rents went up, um, uh, pays went up. You have to have nurse, you have to have a couple of nurses, you got to have people that work for you, secretary, um, it's, and then they're paying off their schooling. But yet, during Vietnam, they just made you a damn medic. Hey, you want to be a medic? You're a medic. Get up here. You're going to learn how to anatomy like that, how to go into some man's chest and restart their heart by rubbing it. You're going to pull a radar. If you never saw this episode of MASH, when he has to cut the man's throat open and stick a straw in it so he could breathe. I'm just saying. Um, I just think everything should cost the same in a way. Is that weird? Is that a terrible thing? Schools should all cost the same. I know he wants to do, Trump wants school online. He's gonna have one school. Fantastic. All right, what else is there, Joe? Because I could talk forever.
no. Yeah, much of my fault.
It's always been the children first with Trump.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. And if you think that he didn't stop, um, I don't
It's
know
gonna
how many different sex trafficking, child trafficking, companies that trafficked in furniture. There were companies that would have kids and people lot. There were like there was the evergreen crates that had people in them, and I've even explained how they were like little houses, like they were 400 square feet. They had bathroom of, they had johns, they had running water, they had electricity, they had a bed. It's This is how it was. It's not like that anymore. It hasn't been since I would say the Suez Canal, which I believe happened a year prior, which is that's another crazy thing.
hold on, let me get back.
Do I drive you crazy, Joe? I drive myself crazy most times, guys, but oh gosh, I don't know if the Christians fighting for America are going to like my little thumbnail. Sorry, my friends. Um, I'm calling it. Biden's gonna die. I'm calling it, and
Go
I
back.
mean within the
Go
month,
back. There we go.
maybe two, by the spring. Watch, because it's gonna be part of the plan. You get it? He's got to go. He's got to go because he no longer has existed. Unless Trump is going to come out and tell us. But Joe, don't you think, this is funny because I brought up NATO earlier today. And Joe, is that what you think Trump is going to do? Didn't you say something
What's that?
about, you said Trump is going to speak tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow he says he's gonna lay it all out.
Yeah, I understand that,
That's all I know.
but I had mentioned NATO earlier today on a chat. Now, do you think it's going to be about NATO?
No.
Didn't you say it was going to be about NATO or there was something about
No,
NATO?
there is a senator who is called to get out of NATO, but I don't know what they're gonna do yet.
What senator is it, you know? Well,
Yeah,
he's
one senator
driving
said,
me.
yeah, he's calling for us to leave NATO because of what's going on. I think a lot of people are kind of pissed off at Zelensky, in Europe right now. I mean, right? It was.
Zelensky.
Well,
Oh
look,
my God.
Zelensky came here. He came here and he demanded shit, and it was like as soon as he left, he went straight to the Brits, and the Brits gave him a deal. It was like, "Fuck you, America." It was like them giving us the finger. That's what I got out of that meeting. The whole European nation gave us the finger.
Because
Oh,
they're scared. They're all
because they
gone.
care so
Yeah, but
much
you see,
about
it's
us.
not the people. It's not the people, Joe.
Never said it
So,
was. It's never the people,
right.
Carolyn. It's always the ones that are in charge of the country, the bad people.
There's no bad left, Joe. It's
There is.
no, we're still.
I don't think
Hey, good
you can get
morning,
rid of
brother
it.
Eric. Good
I think you
morning.
can only control it. I don't think you can get rid of it.
No, come on, Joe. These people had military tribunals. It's wake up time. This isn't silly talk anymore. Look, I got my camouflage on. Thank you, Debbie Latimer. She gave me a bunch of little cashmere, camouflage stuff. I love it. Say good morning to Eric.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning.
You're breaking up a bit. Um, our school system. I'm going to the eye doctor tomorrow again. Oh my God. Thank goodness, though. And our President Donald Trump was to improve the education in the United States. Correctamundo. I love it. I love it. Love it. That's like one of my, I mean, it was his priority because you have to start with the children. It has to end and start with our children. And then
Right.
hopefully everybody else at home will follow. Good morning, Mama Helen. Let me see. Our school systems have failed in the United States. Absolutely. He says, "Good morning, Joseph. We don't no more wars. We don't need any more wars." Is right, Joseph. No,
No
that was
more
Eric.
wars.
That was
No more
Eric.
funding for wars. No more funding for bad shit. We don't want to fund their filth. I don't, anyways.
Helen says she saw a video. I know. Um I saw a video the other day about Biden and it had the dates 39 to 2025. I'm thinking they're saying he bought the farm already. Well,
Huh.
I think he's been dead since 2019. And whoever played him was, spectacular. As if there's not many good actors out there. Um,
There was we did see quite a few times where it looked at like the person that was Joe Biden had a mask on.
right. We have seen that before. We have seen their masks fail on them. And that was intentional because it wouldn't happen on the opposition media, would it? And that is where it did happen. They would cut it out.
Right.
They would stop, they would blur it or stop it or something. That's funny. So I'm calling it Mama, you think, but it's gonna be just for the people until they're ready, until they're told that these Satanists were pedophiles and what they did and how many they profited, like they probably profited off the ID channel. This is how they work, right?
Yes.
They profit off of putting shit on the ID channel, not putting I'm using an example. I'm not sure about this, but it would be one of the things like this, the History Channel and stuff. They profit on all this bullshit, all the propaganda, and also the real cases that because they're the ones committing it, right? They're committing the crimes.
Yes.
They're stealing these
They're the
little
ones
kids,
that committed the insurrection.
but they didn't profit off of that because we got Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Amen. We did.
Right.
Finn, I'm telling you, we did.
I know we did.
Because 4 years and a day after, there are no coincidences, the Palisades started burning down. Prior to that, we had Maui and Canada on fire. We had parts of New York. The one way to get rid of disease and death of that nature is fire. I'm telling you guys.
Right. That is true. That's totally true.
Going back to Zelensky, I believe he's an actor. And to be
Yeah,
honest,
he
he
is
might
an
be an
actor.
actor since day one. I'll tell you why. This is I'm gonna look up where he was born. But the Ukraine and Poland are very much one. Very much. My like a lot of my relatives are in Poland now. They have been like my mother was born in the Ukraine, but her younger two brothers were born in Poland because they were forced to leave. So they went east, I suppose. Please don't ask me. Oh God, geography now. So that's why they speak. My uncle, who has many years left, he's very fit and very well. I'm going to tell you it this way. I get okay. First of all, my cousin he's like a major, all right, in the U.S. Army, but they're very Polish, like Ukrainian. They would probably tell people they're Polish before Ukrainian, whereas my family would say Ukrainian because my father and mother were both. But they're very Catholic, very Orthodox Christian Orthodox. That's what they are. So he's a major. My uncle has to be pro. I don't even have to ask him. My cousin's absolutely pro-Trump. No doubt. In fact, I did talk about it with one of my younger cousins. absolutely pro-Trump. And they have houses in Poland. They go there.
Crazy stuff.
It doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying.
You want to hear me
Things
say
just
something to
go,
them?
huh?
You want me
Sorry.
to hear me say something to them?
I can't hear you, Joe.
You want to hear me say something to them, or you want to keep talking? I'm
Oh
heading north.
no. Okay. Anybody want Joe to say something to the FBI in general? Anybody have anything specifically funny and bastardizing to the FBI? Although,
Because they've been told by Hegseth to give us that 5 bullet point email. What you do? This is part of the Department of Defense.
the DOD, yeah, that's right. So that's what it is, the emails?
Yeah, emails are back on. Where first he said don't respond. Hegseth did because
Yeah,
something was wrong and they needed to check something. So they
right.
got it checked. They got it figured out. Now it's you got to give us the email. Here we go. Coming up on them.
Oh, you know what you're gonna say?
Yeah, produce the emails or get out.
Shh. I'll tell them, Helen.
Watch. Produce the emails or get out, you crooked fuckers.
The Trump, gonna do the Trump.
It's
We gotta
fun.
give Hedge Seth, we gotta give them all a dance, right? That's what we
Yep.
should do. We'll do the Hedge Seth. We'll do the Cash Patel. We'll do the Bongino. So, Mama Helen, oh, thank you, Mama, says Myrtle Beach is now on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. There's fires out there in the Carolinas.
I got a friend's
Bad
father
one.
lives on around Myrtle Beach. So
Pray for
pray for
those
Myrtle
folks.
Beach.
Yes.
More Americans are waking up. Absolutely, Mr. Tate. I love it. I say it every day. I'm like, I'll read the chat and I'll be like, you're awake. You're awake. Like, all you have to do is understand that certain people dealt with P. Diddy and Epstein in all categories of life, whatever business or fame or political crap they were into, they were on the side, Satanist, pedophile, disgusting filth of the world. I don't know. I don't know. Decrepit amoebas of humanity.
Not
It's
very
foul.
nice folks.
Foul. Sorry?
Not very nice folks.
Not very nice, folks. Thanks. Thanks, Joe. That helped a million. I sent you a video this morning of a Russian singer who met Zelensky on a comedy show playing president, and he's still playing the part. He was also part of the LGBT band, yeah. Well, the thing is, our plan started, let's say the Q plan, or what I believe in, or most people, conspiracists believe in, this plan started when Kennedy, probably before Kennedy was assassinated. So Zelensky having a part in a show prior to this whole event, him becoming president of the Ukraine, is nothing. It's only years. This is decades, almost a century.
Yes.
Getting there.
We're in the ending of the sting. We stung them. Boy did Trump sting them.
I keep saying it. Not that I disagree, Mama Helen, but I keep saying it. Trump was in The Apprentice for a reason. Once they found enough information, it didn't matter. They could write the script any way they wanted it. Once they found enough out on the certain individual, they were fired
Yep.
and probably then started being looked into, um, even arrested or having troubles. I'm sure a lot of that can be proven. I know a lot of real estate agents, not agents, but entrepreneurs, like went to hell, especially in New York. I mean, in the 2000s. It's very odd. Some died, some went to prison. There was actors too, still at that point. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. In the George magazine, which we should know is JFK Jr.'s magazine, there's one that he writes the lyrics to the Rolling Stones song. And this is a year prior to his death, perhaps close to a year, maybe. And in the same paragraph, he comments about the future, what's it going to bring, and who knows what's going to happen in 20 years. Now, of course, I'm thinking, oh, 20 years from that would have been 2019, right? From his death. And I was like, that's a failure because it doesn't add up to when the conspiracy started, when people started waking up to pedophilia or our government being bad or anything at all. It doesn't really, but it does. Because on that cover of the magazine, and you can look it up yourself, that's the one with Mount Rushmore, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, and a few other tells. The conspiracists know that Hillary died in 2019. That would have been 20 years to that. And she was probably in it with George Bush. Because didn't she prosecute Nixon? Didn't she help prosecute Nixon? Joe is frozen, but I'm pretty sure that Joe has told me that before. Yeah,
I gotta
right?
go.
Go,
Yeah.
brother. Sell some cause.
Peace.
Please, brother. So do you see how this kind of all works into one? I'm not saying I mean, but come on. On the cover, not only is Bill Gates on the cover, but so is Hillary Clinton, Mount Rushmore. Oh, I'm missing something. I want to say there's something astronomical up there, like the moon. There's a couple of things. I haven't looked at the picture recently, so and then for us to know, for a certain amount of people to know that the conspiracies are true, there's a lot of people that believe it. There's a lot of people that just don't believe in the old ways. You know, I don't like when they put down God. I don't like that because you're not putting down just maybe an omnipotent being, but you're putting down millions, apparently billions of people that believe in such a God. So why would you do that? You're hurting yourself for not acknowledging it. You're hurting others by not acknowledging their faith and perhaps a being that does exist. See, Mama Helen, there's definitely a difference between atheist and agnostic. I am not atheist. I am a very spiritual person. I believe we all connect. We all do. And if we all connect and it ends created by God, then we are all one. And where we go one, we go all, right? Love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by, Helen, Eric. Especially when it comes to our tax dollars. We're going to get it back. Nasara believers know that we're going to go back to gold backing because nothing backs cash. It's not $100 bill is not worth the linen it's sitting on, that print is sitting on. It's nothing. It's a piece of paper. It's an IOU. Now, if they back crypto up with gold, I don't like the name crypto. I mean, seriously, guys. That's why the Dogecoin sounds better. I hope they change it to the Doge. That's what um Elon was talking about this whole time, the Dogecoin. I don't know where it went. Maybe that's what they'll find in Fort Knox, huh? I don't know. But once all is settled, we have Russell J. Gould, who went through all our finances. We have Dr. Scott Young, who understands this to a T. We have Trump, who is obviously an entrepreneur because he understands the green. And he also knows that we've been cheated for our whole lives. There's nobody that's living today that has not been cheated from our own government or even other governments. But they're not governments, right? They're evil people. Believe that. I mean, how hard is it to believe that if there's evil people that existed, which obviously there are, that they want to take control and that they had taken control and that we had a God sent Donald Trump to save us. I don't see this as being hard. And if if it collides with revelations in the Bible and it collides with the earth and all the planets aligning and the earth going back on its axis, which it has been for, I don't know, a few years. I think it takes years for it to, like, unless you're a flat earth believer. There's astronomical, there's um physical things happening, there's death. Then you have heroes like even Baron Trump. You look at this kid, he's a hero already. Uh, we have them. We have great heroes on and heroines. If you want to hear such a gotta do both, I guess. No. Oh, hi, Ela. Good morning. Good morning. It's still morning, right? 11:55. Ela asked a question a while back and I didn't get to answer it, so I might as well do it now. I have coffee, so I can. Now a lot of people believe that these crashes, which I think Joe and I had discussed before, in 2024, there were 18 deadly plane crashes, if my memory suits me. If I'm off by a little bit, forgive me. And so far, we're only into the 3rd of March, and we've had 14 deadly plane crashes. This is not DEI. I'm sorry, it has to be much bigger. I mean, come on. Really? Everybody that's flying the guys that flew the cancer girl, the cancer survivor was DEI. What are the chances, right? Mathematically impossible, Q would say. So what I absolutely believe, and I've been saying it, we're in a dimensional shift. We're evolving. Let's see. If you believe in the evolution theory or in Darwinism, then yes. Why can't this be the time of evolution for us again? Maybe a spiritual, a social. We definitely have a social um movement because of all the platforms we're on. So why can't it be evolution of a physical nature too. Our brains opening up somewhere instead of having 7% of our brain, which I think we believe in, or 10% maybe. Some people say even 3%. I've read they've always changed it because they don't know precisely, or they're just lying to us, right? So what does Joe say the other day? Well, Trump happens to be opening up 6G. It's happening in Trump's administration during his time. It's got to be good. He does not have enemies at this point that are living around or breathing or can influence him in any way at the very least. He doesn't. He's the most powerful man in the world, right? Are you going to disagree with me on that? He's the most powerful man in the world. Of course, Zelensky was acting like a little brat. Why? He's not getting his way. Trump is daddy. Trump's going to take what he wants. You don't give, move over, Zelensky. Don't give a shit about you. That's what he was showing. That's what him and JD were showing. So going back to this physical evolution, with physical evolution, we might need a jump start, just like a car might need a jump start every now and then, right? Because we've been out of commission for so long. This is just hypotheticals, guys, but it makes a lot of sense to me. So how to jumpstart human evolution? And I'm not going to say your nose is going to grow out like Pinocchio's or your one ass cheek is going to be, or we'll have three tits or something, or my French. But I'm not saying any of that. But perhaps something in our brain where we only used the 10%, now we're using 30. Can you imagine? They couldn't even turn it on that fast. When an animal is starving, you can't give it too much food yet. You got to give it little by little, right? Let it drink some water. So they would turn it on and possibly there were effects. Now, this could be the good, and we have casualties from the good messing around, or this could be bad people still trying to fight for this technical power, right? Let's say Mark Zuckerberg had social power. He had social influence on what we heard, on what we were allowed to say and share. He put us in a fake prison. There was no way he was invited to try. There's no way he's a good guy, guys. That's an act. Come on. I don't care who he was, how he, I saw him with the full fro. No, it's not him. Mm-mm. Mama Helen, I remember us reading a Twitter, it was Twitter back then, post from Mark Zuckerberg saying that he wants to get his adrenochrome on or something like that. He was at the beach because I remember him being shirtless and there was, see, the pictures always stay with me. He was definitely at the beach. There was sand and water, some kind of party going on perhaps. And he posted it with saying that he could use adrenochrome. I'm sure I have it in my phone. And there were people that checked, people I trust. Elon Musk has all that information. He's had it for years. Whoever Elon Musk really is. What if Elon Musk was FBI since Trump's administration or before that, or CIA or in the military? He ain't no prince from South Africa. I'm sorry. He's doing it for his location happens to be in the best country in the world. That isn't because he's a bad guy. Saying God protect her. A baby. Yes, okay. But the little brat on timeout, Zelensky, I guess, was looking for Grandpa Biden on. Oh yeah, you want me? Let me see. I love creating some of these I mean, some people do some of the work and then I just put other effects on top of them. I love it though. I really do. I mean, it's my art, really. Hold on. Let's see. Share. I think I have it set. I love this one. If you guys didn't, hold on, I'm gonna open it up. His little milk says snack time. JD is checking the formula, making sure it's not hot. And I don't know, I fit that crown perfectly on Trump's head. I don't care what you call me, he deserves it. And that's why in sign language, I use the letter T, and this would be crown, right? So obviously, like the points, right? So it's probably a W, but I use the letter T and go like that for Trump. Like he's the king or daddy, daddy of the world. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And everybody else is a baby. And this is what they were trying to tell us here. And if you saw yesterday's show, you noticed before this part, Trump had his hands down a lot, and they were in the down pyramid. It's always been a pyramid, guys. It's always been the Cabal, the Illuminati, the Satanists, the Bohemian Grove goers. We are going to evolve, Ela. I hope you understand. You have to have the belief. If God did to us before, why wouldn't he help us now? Well, he couldn't help us because Satan ruled for so long. But now if Satan's gone, it's going to seem like magic happened. But it's not magic, it's just we're behind hundreds of years. Do you understand? If you listen to me even years and years and years and years and years ago in some of my writings, I would say the military is 50 to 100 years more advanced than us. Maybe there's some of them with chips in their heads that can communicate with each other. They don't need walkie-talkies kind of thing or headgear, right? How do we know? And if it's not American, how do we know it's not in Russia? Russia has a huge army, lots of fodder. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits. Having a barbecue saying his kids' ribs look awesome. Who's having a barbecue? Saying God protect her. All right, guys, love you, and we shall get together again very shortly, I'm sure. All right, guys, take care.